Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Who was Queen Sheba or Queen Sheba? Was she half human, half jinn? Well, we will be looking into this today. If you open Surah An-Naml of Quran, it talks about the Queen of Sheba. One day, Sulaiman alayhi salam was traveling and he needed help of the hoopoe bird. In Arabic, it is called Hudhud. But Hudhud was nowhere to be found. Long story short, Hudhud came after some time and informed Sulaiman alayhi salam that he is coming from Yemen. Yemen, where there is a kingdom of Sheba or kingdom of Sheba, which is ruled by a woman. Now, just so that you have some contextual information about the kingdom of Sheba, Sheba is actually one of the tribes of Yemen. In this tribe, there was a very famous man by the name of Sheba. His name was Sheba bin Yashjab bin Ya'rab bin Qahtan. So he is from Banu Qahtan. And some people say that he was also known by the name of Abdul Shams, which probably might have been his title, but his name was Sheba. Sheba also means to be imprisoned. He was one of the first people who might have been imprisoned in the place of Sheba. Anyway, after him, the city of Ma'arib was also named Sheba. Sheba is very close to Sana'a, which is another city in Yemen. And it is also stated that Sheba is the first person who used crown for a king, and through him this particular thing went on with the other kings to follow. Sheba had 10 sons. Out of the 10 sons, 6 of them settled in Yemen, and the other 4 moved to Syria. Imam Raghib Asfahani writes that Sheba is the name of a city, and the dwellers of the city spread all over Arabia in different parts. Anyway, the details that I have brought to you so far have been taken from Al-Mufradat, volume number 1, page 295. Similarly, from Ruhul Bayan, volume number 6, page 434. And in Mu'jam al-Buldan, on page number 182, it is stated that Sheba is a place in Yemen, somewhere between Sana'a and Hadramaut. One of the major cities of this region is Ma'arib. And one of the reasons that this place was called Sheba, because one of the main branch of the tribe of Sheba was settled here, Sheba, the son of Yashjab, the son of Ya'rab, the son of Qahtan. Now let's get to the Queen of Sheba or Queen Sheba. Her name also comes as Bilqis, as reported by Imam Baghwi in Mu'alim al-Tanzil, volume number 3, pages 498 and 499. Hudhud noticed that this kingdom of Sheba was being ruled by a woman. Imam Baghwi writes that her name, the queen's name, was Bilqis, the daughter of Sharahil. And she was from the descendants of Ya'rab bin Qahtan. So she was from Banu Qahtan. Her father was a very famous and very strong king. He was the king of entire Yemen. This mighty kingdom got to his head, and he started thinking of himself higher than other beings around him. There were several kings or smaller capacity kings around the kingdom of Sharahil. And he said, well, all of you kings, none of you is capable or honorable enough that I will take your daughter in marriage. And he was extremely arrogant and insulting towards those king and everybody around him. So he said, I will not marry because you guys are not honorable enough. I don't find any human honorable enough for me to marry yet. So what they decided to do, they decided to get a female jinn. Her name was Rihana bint Sakan, and they got him married to this female jinn. And through this marriage, a daughter was born by the name of Bilqis. And Imam Baghwi in Mu'alim al-Tanzil also writes that it comes in the hadith that between the two parents of Bilqis, one was from the jinn. When Bilqis' father died, there was no other child of Sharahil other than Bilqis, so she automatically became the queen. And since she was the only royal person, she automatically became the leader. She expressed her interest in ruling the people when everybody around her accepted that. There were a few people who initially opposed her becoming a queen over the entire kingdom, but over the period of time, they also accepted her as their queen. So all of this information is reported by Imam Baghawi in Mu'alim al-Tanzil. Ibn Asakir, who is known by the name of Ibn Asakir more commonly, but his name was Ali bin al-Hasan, who passed away in 571 Hijrah. He writes about Bilqis that she was the queen of Saba. She ruled Yemen for 9 years. And after that, Sulaiman alayhi salam instated her as a Khalifa for the Yemen. For 4 years, she ruled under that capacity. And according to Ibn Asakir, Muslima bin Abdullah bin Rab'i states that when Bilqis accepted Islam and became a Muslim, then Sulaiman alayhi salam, the son of Dawood alayhi salam, married her and gave Ba'albak as the mahar for the marriage. And Ba'albak is one of the ancient cities which is very close to Damascus. And this is reported in Mu'jamul Buldan, Volume 1, page 454. And Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu narrates that Bilqis, among the parents of Bilqis, one of them was a jinn. And Hassan Basri rahimahullah, who is from the Tabi'een, when he was asked about the Queen of Sheba or the Queen of Saba, and when people said, we have heard that between her parents, one of them was a jinn, and he said, if a man marries a jinn, nothing will be born out of that marriage. Well, again, Ibn Asakir has brought both viewpoints in Tarikh Damashq, volume number 73, page number 50. So, as reported by some of the people, that through the marriage of the two people, one of them was human, Sharahil, and one of them was from the jinn, her name was Rihana, born Bilqis. Ibn Asakir brings Abi Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu's hadith, about which Hafiz ibn Kathir says, who died in 774 Hijrah, that this hadith is da'if. In Al-Bidayah wa Nihaya, volume number 1, page number 470. Now, in this particular point, there comes a lot of discussion whether if a man marries a jinn, will there be something born out of that, or will there be nothing born out of it? And also, another discussion that comes forth is, okay, even if that marriage takes place according to Sharia, is that marriage even considered a marriage? Qadi Badruddin Muhammad bin Abdullah al-Shibli al-Hanafi, who passed away in 769 Hijrah, he says that it is possible for a human to marry a jinn. And also, when you look at the work of Imam Suyuti rahimahullah, Luqtul Marjan fi Ahkam al-Jan. In this book, he wrote an entire chapter on the children that may be born because of the marriage, due to the marriage between the jinn and the humans. And he brings in hadith number 73 that Imam Tha'labi in Fiqh al-Lugha, he writes that when a man or a human marries a jinn, or through that, when a child is born, that child is called khuns. And when a human man marries a jinn woman, and the jinn woman is from the shayateen, the troublemakers, then such a child is called amluq. And in the same book, Imam Suyuti writes under the heading that it has been narrated to us, or the news has reached us, that between the parents of the Queen of Sheba, Bilqis, one of them was jinn. And he said that Ibn Ala Kalabi says that the father of Bilqis married a jinn woman by the name of Rihana, the daughter of Sukun. And Bilqis was born of this marriage. Initially, her name was Balqamah. And it is also stated that her feet were different from the human feet. and provides some more details about it. Also, Imam Suyuti says that Abu Shaykh in Kitab al-Uzma and Ibn Murduya and Ibn Asakir reports it from Abi Huraira that the Prophet ﷺ said that one of the parents of the Bilqis was from the jinns. And Ibn Abi Sheba and Ibn al-Mundhar reports it from Imam Mujahid rahimahullah, famous tabi'i, student of Abdullah ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu, and he says that the mother of the Queen of Sheba was a jinn. Ibn Abi Hatim reports it from Zuhair bin Muhammad. He said that Bilqis' mother was from the jinn, and her name was Fari'ah. So this is a different name than Rihana that comes in this particular statement. And Ibn Jurayj narrates that the mother of Bilqis was Balqiyah, or in one particular narration the word Balfanah comes also. And Hakim Tirmizi, now remember, Hakim Tirmizi and Imam Tirmizi are two different people. Imam Tirmizi compiled a book, Jami' al-Tirmizi. Hakim Tirmizi compiled a book, An-Nawadir al-Usul. They're very close in the time frame, but Imam Tirmizi came before Hakim Tirmizi. Anyway, Hakim Tirmizi and Ibn Murduya reports it from Uthman bin Hadir. And he says that the mother of Bilqis was a jinn, and her name was Balqiyah. And in one particular narration, the name Sisan also comes as the father of Balqiyah. So Balqiyah, the daughter of Sisan. Ibn Asakir, as I told you, brings this particular viewpoint of Hassan Basri, that he said that when a marriage takes place between a human and a jinn, nothing is born out of that. So Imam Suyuti says that Ibn Asakir's narration that he brings, or statement of Hassan al-Basri that he quotes, is against several narration which are categorized as the status of muttafaqun alayh. And Hakim Tirmizi, Nawadir al-Usul, brings a narration from al-Mu'mineen Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu ta'ala anha, and she said that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that among you are mughrabun, and we talked about this in detail before. There is an entire lecture on this channel itself about the mughrabun. And when we asked him, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who are mughrabun? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, these are the people in whom the jinn are also partially part of their birth. So probably it is through a wedlock of a human and a jinn. However, Ibn Athir, now remember, there is Ibn Kathir and there is also Ibn Athir with alif. Ibn Kathir wrote the book Al-Bidaya wa Nihaya, which you also know by the name of Qasas al-Anbiya, or Tarikh Ibn Kathir. Ibn Athir also wrote a book An-Nihaya, in which he talks about Mughrabun. And he says that Mughrabun are called Mughrabun. That means they have been born from a lineage that is way out of the way. Means one of them is from one kind of a being and another one is from a different kind of a being. And he says that, well, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in the Quran, وَشَارِكْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَوْلَادِ, that shaitan and the jinns to participate in the wealth and the awlad, the offsprings of the humans, it means that the shayateen instigate humans to commit adultery, evil acts. And we've talked about that in great detail when we talked about hybrid humans. There's an entire lecture on that in the channel Thinking Muslim. And there's also another story which is reported by Imam Zuhri in his book Kitab Nuzhatil Muzakirah, and it is narrated from Abi Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and he narrates that when Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was fighting in Naharwan against the Hururiyah, and he was looking for Dhul Yad or Talid, and people informed him that that person has run away from the battlefield. Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu said, go and find him. So people found him. Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu anhu said, I know his people. And one of them said, We know him. He is Qaus. And his mother is also here. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu said, I want you to go and summon the mother of this man. So the mother came, and Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu asked her, who is the father of this person? But she didn't respond other than saying, I do not know who the father is. All I know is, in the times of Jahiliyyah, I was a shepherd. I used to take the goats and go out in the wilderness. I noticed one day a shadow came and had a relationship with me. And due to that, I was pregnant. And this was born out of that. Well, in the Ahkam al-Shar'iyya, whether this kind of a marriage can take place or not, that's for some other day. But I just wanted to bring to you some details that comes in different books about the Queen Sheba or Queen Sheba of Yemen, who is known by the name of Bilqis. Whether Bilqis will be regarded as a jinn or not, that's a different matter. But ulama are of the opinion that even if one of the parents was from the jinn, but since the father was from the humans, and the lineage is through the father, that's why she would be considered a human. Some people say that Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam married Bilqis or Queen of Sheba, and some people say we do not have any concrete evidence about that marriage. Maybe she got married to somebody else who was made governor over her kingdom. And that man was by the name of Hamad. And Imam Abdul Rahman bin Muhammad bin Idris ibn Abi Hatim, commonly known as Ibn Abi Hatim, who passed away in 327 Hijrah, he reports from his Sanad that when Aun bin Abdullah bin Utbah asked his father Abdullah bin Utbah that whether Sulaiman alayhi salam married the Queen of Sheba or Queen of Sheba, did he married her or not? He said, I do not know much about it, except for that she became a Muslimah. She accepted Islam. That's all I know. So Ibn Abi Hatim reports this much in Tafsir Ibn Abi Hatim under Hadith number 16,449 in volume number 9, page number 2,898. And Allama Sayyid Mahmud Alusi writes that Wahab ibn Munabbah says that when Bilqis became a Muslimah, Sulaiman alayhi salam asked her, do you like anybody from among your people so that I can marry you to him? So she said, everybody in my kingdom are under me. How can I marry one of them? So Sulaiman alayhi salam said, in Islam, it is mandatory for you to be somebody's wife and do the nikah. You cannot be just by yourself alone. So upon that, Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam married her to the king of Hamadan, whose name was Dhu Taba, and then sent Dhu Taba to Yemen and made Dhu Taba king over Yemen. And she stayed as the queen of Yemen, but now she had a king also. So king was ruling the Yemen. And as long as Sulaiman alayhi salam was alive, he also sent jinns to guard the kingdom of Bilqis and Dhu Taba. But after Sulaiman alayhi salam passed away, jinns stopped guarding the kingdom, and other people had an opportunity to come and attack the kingdom. So in short time, the kingdom of Bilqis and Dhu Taba came to an end. Anyway, these are some of the other details I wanted to bring to you. I hope it was knowledgeable and informative for you guys, and I hope it also helped answer the question that was coming my way from several weeks now. And don't forget to please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We need your support as we are growing, and we would be more than happy to answer any more questions that you want to put in the comment section down below. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum.